Hey guys, this is Ben Fitz with MinerParts.com, and this is a post for our Bitcoin and Ethereum mining group. I know we have all different interest levels in here. Some people may not really be interested in mining. You just want to know more about Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto coins in general. So in this video, I'm going to show you a wallet. This is the Bitcoin Core wallet. This is the least fancy Bitcoin software out there for Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. This is the core program, and when you boot it up, you're going to see that it's connecting, and you're going to see some different status symbols. What this is meaning is that it's synchronizing with the network of all the other Bitcoin transactions that have happened, and it does that because it's the way of tracking and confirming you really have this coin and you haven't spent this coin. There are other types of software out there where this part is hosted maybe in the cloud, and you don't have to wait on this whole downloading thing. But that's also riskier, because what happens if the cloud gets hacked and your coin is on there? Okay, so this is software that runs on your computer, and if you don't run it very often, I haven't opened it for a few days, it takes a little while for it to synchronize. I can go on ahead and use it. I can hide this information by clicking on this. What this is saying is that it's synchronizing the headers. The last time it has data for was August 7th, and today I record this on August 10th, so it's got 3 days worth of data to download. It doesn't yet know how long it's going to take to download. As soon as it starts finding another connection, these numbers will all update, and that takes a little while with Bitcoin. So normally I just hide it and let it run in the background. So this wallet actually has no Bitcoin in it right now, because I've transferred whatever Bitcoin was in this wallet either to an exchange, or I've transferred it to another address. Like I have a hardware wallet, which is harder to hack than software on my computer. It's like a little USB key that has all my Bitcoin on it. But anyway, so this it would show here a balance if you had a balance on this top left, and when it says pending, that means that you're in the process of receiving money from someone else, and it just hasn't confirmed yet. And as soon as enough confirmations happen, and they should happen approximately every 10 minutes, that's also goes back to what we're talking about mining. Confirmation should happen approximately every 10 minutes. They should average every 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes less to start getting those confirmations. And your total is here. Over here on the right, you can see recent transactions. So to send, you would click send, and you would be given one of these addresses. If you were sending Bitcoin to me, I would give you an address. It would be a long string of numbers, and you would just come in and paste it. You can save this address if it's something, somebody who you're going to send Bitcoin to frequently, so that way you don't have to remember these numbers. So I can come in here, and I've only saved a couple so far, and that one I didn't even label, so I don't even know what that is. Actually, I think I do know what that is. But this one has a label, and that way, and if I double click on it, it automatically fills in that Bitcoin address for me. So that way, even though it's hard to remember this, I can remember this. So there's the little address book. Makes it a little bit easier. And then the amount, it's in decimal places. So, you can send little tiny bits of Bitcoin if you want, or you can send, big amounts of Bitcoin. But if you don't have that much in your wallet, this is going to fail, because I didn't have any balance in my wallet. Right here where it says, this allows you to send the really, really small increments. millibitcoins. And then you can subtract the fee from this amount. The fee is right down here at the bottom. It says transaction fee, 0.0002. And since Bitcoin is around 3,400 bucks, would that be $1? Or is that, would that be $6? Or would that be 64 cents? 0.0002 times 3,400. 68 cents, yeah. So that's less than $1. That's less than $1 for the transaction. So I could actually send 450 Bitcoins and do it for a really small amount like this for 68 cents. So 450 Bitcoins, 450 times 3,400, you know, whatever that is, that's a lot of money. That's, you know, several hundred thousand dollars, and pay 68 cents. It's one of the cool things about Bitcoin. I could also come in here and I could raise this fee to an even higher amount to help make sure that it gets confirmed faster, but I won't get into all that. I don't want to complicate it for you people that are brand new. So I can also add multiple recipients, and I can do multiple recipients in one transaction. So I could select this other address, and I don't have a label for it, but I know what it was. I was paying a bill. You know, I could come in here and do a different, and then subtract fee from the amount means that instead of sending 4006, it's going to actually send, it's going to take this 002 out, so it would actually send, let's make this easier. If it was this 0.40002, it would take 0.002 out, so they would actually get 0.4. And then in this case, they would get 450.011, and the 2 would be subtracted as the fee if I do that. If I uncheck this box, then this 0.0002 comes out of my wallet. So sometimes that's easier so that you don't have to do the math and subtract stuff. If you're receiving Bitcoins, we'll clear all those addresses. If we're receiving, you have addresses here. You can put in an address and send a message to somebody asking for a payment. And if you click the request payment button, it will generate a new Bitcoin address for you. And then you send this to somebody and they pay you. If you have a smartphone, they can scan it in. You can save the image to your computer to send to somebody, or you could take a picture with your phone and send to somebody. So that's how you request payment. You click this button, and this is a new address. This is not the same one. It does a new address every time. You can reuse the same address, but for security reasons, a lot of people like to use different ones. And then you can see a history of transactions. I only used this wallet for Bitcoin Cash Split, so I didn't have a lot of money in this wallet. But you can see how it works. You see sends and receives, and you see which address. So receiving, I named these so that I would know if it was who it was coming to. So you can name these so that you can actually have money in your account, you know, from different places, and you can tell where it came from. Other settings you really don't have to do. Whether or not you start it up every day. There's just some general stuff, like if you're behind a firewall, need a proxy. You know, most of you are not going to need that kind of thing. And if you're really technical, you can come in here and there's command line options and all that stuff. If you go back to the file menu, this is where you make a backup of your wallet. Very, very important that you back up your wallet. Very important. You want to back up the wallet right away and save that information. It's usually called wallet.dat. So if I click back up, it's going to want to save a wallet.dat, and I can, I can tell it where I want to save it. So I could say something like bin Bitcoin wallet backup. Okay, that way it'll be easy for me to remember and find later. Cool. And then this one, encrypt wallet, this is also really important. So what this does is this allows you to create a password that they would have to use in order to be able to get access to your wallet. So if you're running the software on your computer and your computer got hacked or someone else got on your computer, they wouldn't be able to use it because you used encrypt wallet. So again, this is the most complicated Bitcoin wallet. If you can use this, you can use Bitcoin. So, most of the other wallets are a little bit easier to use, a little bit more user-friendly than this one. So if you can use this wallet, you can pretty much do anything with Bitcoin. Hope this helps explain a little bit about Bitcoin wallets and wallet addresses and stuff like that. Thanks. Bye.